Alrighty, friends, welcome back. It's time for another Tear the Shrink wrap off as we look at one of the greatest games and expansions in the history of board gaming. Of course, we're talking about Sentinels of the Multiverse with the Vengeance expansion. So let's tear it open and see what we get. Very excited about showing this off. And first things first, we got to get this nasty, disgusting shrink wrap off of this so we can enjoy the art, we can enjoy the look. Alright, Vengeance of the Multiverse. Sentinels of the Multiverse, Vengeance. Baron Blade has long suffered at the hands of the self-proclaimed heroes. He's tired of their constant harrying, their interruptions of his plans, their love of doomsday device destruction. No longer he has gathered a team, the Vengeful Five. They bring the fight to the heroes along with an impressive army of villainous nemesis, each with their own vendetta against the many Sentinels of the Multiverse. Sentinels of the Multiverse Vengeance is a mega expansion to the award-winning cooperative comic book card game Sentinels of the Multiverse. This product provides a new mode of play for the heroes to face in the form of a team of villains. Players must work together to overcome their greatest challenges. So there's 339 cards, 9 heroes, 5 hero decks, 5 Vengeance villain decks, and 2 environment decks as well. 2 to 5 players, 30 to 60 minutes. And let's see what we have inside the box. We have a rule booklet. We'll look at that in a minute. We have the the villain placards. We also have the separator cards, and then we have a boatload of cards that you get. Now, I should mention that this is brand new and it just came from Greater Than Games. So they still have a few copies of this game. They still have a copy of Villains of the Multiverse. They still have a few copies that they're selling out. So if you're interested in this, you can still order it from Greater Than Games. I would not go to Noble Knight, as the price for anything for Greater Than Games is doubled or tripled in the last couple months because of the fact that they've gone out of business and they're not going to be producing anything anymore. So if you're interested in this, you can still get it at, I got this at like 75% off, free shipping on $100 worth of stuff. So go to the Greater Than Games web store, click on the Sentinels of the Multiverse and see what they have available. Like I said, I just got this, and I got one of the very last copies of the definitive edition for Sentinels of the Multiverse. So we'll be doing an unboxing of this coming up shortly. Alright, so let's look at what we have in the Vengeance and expansion. And what I'm going to be doing is probably taking these cards and adding them to my Villains of the Multiverse expansion that I just did to save me some space on my shelf, because you can see with the other expansion there's a whole column that we could put these cards into, so we will have to do that. And then I will only need to put one box on my shelf as opposed to 2 boxes. Alright, so let's see what we get first. We have our separator cards. Meandering Mike says that he doesn't think he has this expansion. Well, why not? Why the heck not? Is the question. Why would you not have this expansion? It would be my job as the #1 YouTuber for Sentinels of the Multiverse. That's right. I am officially the number one YouTuber for Sentinels of the Multiverse. I have more Sentinels of the Multiverse content in my channel than anyone else in the entire world. I am the #1 Sentinels of the Multiverse. So, just keep that in mind. I might know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Sentinels of the Multiverse. Alright. So we have Baron Blade. We have Exermine. We have Friction. We have Freight Train. And we have Proletariat, which is interesting. So these 5 will be the enemies that you are now going up against when you play in this format. So let's see. Oh, we got some heroes as well. Isn't that nice? We got some heroes. Which is our heroes? Oh, you got the Sentinels, you got the Naturalists, you got Setback, you got Parse and Knife, and then we got 2. Okay, wow, we got a lot of content for like $10. I think this expansion was going for like $10, if I'm not mistaken. So, Knife. Okay, Knife. We have the mobile defense platform. This is a really good one to go against. It's a pretty easy one, as I recall. It's a fun one. Mobile defense platform. Then we have the Freedom Tower, which is obviously a very good for the heroes. You are the boss. I am the boss. We should know that, Meandering Mike. You should know that. I am the boss. There's no more content than what I have done. I have done a tutorial video on every single hero in the core game, and I'm currently going through Sentinels of Earth Prime expansion. So, alright, Friction. Looks like Friction's deck here. Then we got some more heroes here. Alright, we have Setback here. $24 for Setback. We have Parse. Alright, there's Parse deck. So she, for me, is like one of the heroes that I never was very thrilled about. Not very interesting hero. She doesn't really do a lot of cool things. Parse, not a big fan of Parse. Knife, on the other hand, was pretty cool. So Knife, on the other hand, was pretty cool. She uses these energy daggers, and she's all about getting the energy daggers out into play and then doing extra energy damage and then doing extra melee damage, and then once she's set up, she can do like pretty good amount of damage. So that is Knife. Let's just make sure we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 39, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Yes. Doug Sessions says, hello, my friend. I picked up a bunch of copies of Sentinels in the Multiverse from my collection. I think I have 3 copies of everything so far. Nice. There is a smart man right there. Because, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but with Greater Than Games going out of business, they're not going to produce this stuff anymore. So if you're interested in getting it, now's your chance to get it before the price goes through the roof with people wanting it. And so I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up. And don't say I never told you that, like, you should be doing this, because I've been telling people for months. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Yay! Now, the Naturalist is a great deck to play. If you get this expansion, he's a really fun character. He can either be a crocodile or a gazelle or a rhino, and based upon which form he's in, like, all of his cards will give him certain bonuses when he's in that form. So, like, if he's in gazelle form and you play this card, then you get this power. But if he's in rhino form, then you get this power. So you got to kind of time, like, what you're doing with him and which form you're in. And yeah, it's actually a very interesting character to play. So, yeah, I would recommend him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, this is Setback. So Setback is a very interesting character. He's Mr. Lucky and Unlucky. He's got lucky cards and he's got unlucky cards. And so, like, based upon how many unlucky cards are in play or how many lucky cards are in play, certain things will happen. So he's always like, you know, to play a lucky card, you get to discard one of your unlucky cards. And when you're, you know, things like that. So he's very challenging because he's always getting these unlucky events to happen to him. But he's also super fun because, you know, he definitely does things different than a lot of the other heroes because he's got to work through his difficult, unlucky, and lucky. So we got Freight Train here. Nope, not the full. Armin is looking good. There's one there. Baron Blade, that one's looking good there. We have the Wraith. Well, yeah. Part of the Sentinel group. The Idealist, the Wraith, Dr. Medico, and who's the 4th member of the Sentinels out there? Who is it? It's Mainstay, of course. Sentinels in the Multiverse Definitive Edition is now out of stock. Alright, so I do have one of the very last copies on Earth. The 4, 5, 6, 67, 38, 39, 40. Okay. So the Sentinels are interesting because this hero is a collection of 4 different heroes. The Wraith, the Idealist, Dr. Medico, and Mainstay. And you will be playing as one of these and alternating who you're using coming in and out. And each of them have their own special abilities and their own hit points and everything. So it's very very cool mechanic to use like multiple heroes for one hero. So that's kind of cool. And we have one last deck. They actually have some copies of Spirit Island Jagged Earth. You must have found some in the back of the warehouse. I've been looking for the Spirit Island expansion for a while. Oh, well, you better get on it while you can, buddy. So we have the Proletariat. And Freight Train. And we should be good to go. So you get 5 villains. And of course you can mix these 5 villains with the villains that came in the Villains of the Multiverse expansion. So if you have those, you can mix and match those with Misinformation, Plague Rat, Sergeant Steel, the Operative, Scissor Hammer and Anvil, Greaser, Le Capitan, Ambuscade, Biomancer, and Bugbear. So if you got this expansion, you can mix and match these with the ones that came out in Villains of the Multiverse. So there is the villains. I have 2 more environments. So I'll put the environments with my other environments. Put that back in there. And then we've got a bunch of heroes to put in. Parse, Knife, the Naturalist, Setback, and the Sentinels. What a collection. 5 brand new heroes to play. And then, of course, again, you can mix and match all of these. Ambuscade, Biomancer, Bugbear, Citizen Anvil, Citizen Hammer, Greaser, Le Capitan, Misinformation, Plague Rat, Sergeant Steel, and the Operative. And now you can add to them, from the Vengeance, Baron Blade, Extermine, Friction, Freight Train, and Proletariat. Now look at the last rule booklet here and see what Vengeance has to say. Baron Blade is a difficulty of 3. Freight Train's a difficulty of 3. 2 for Friction, 2 for Ermine, and 2 for Proletariat. The heroes, Knife is a 1. Parse is a 2. Setback is a 3, Naturalist is a 2, and the Sentinels are a 3. It's going to show you how to set it up, and now you're going to alternate villain, hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, villain, hero, and then the environment. You're going to have an equal number of villains as the amount of heroes that are in the game. So if you're playing with 4 heroes, you're going to go up against 4 villains. If you're playing with 5 heroes, you're going up against 5 villains. Then, some information about ending the game, the Nemesis rules, additional rules. Then we have the bio for Knife, the Naturalist, Parse, and the Sentinels, and Setback. And then we have the bio on the villains, Baron Blade, Freight Train, Friction, Ermine, and Proletariat. And then here is the new round order. First villain turn, first hero, second villain, second hero, third hero, fourth hero, fifth villain, fifth hero, and then the environment turn. There you go. Now, if you ordered both of these, you can clearly see that they will both fit into one box. You do not need to keep both boxes if you don't want to. They actually have some copies of Spirit Island, Jagged Earth. That's a good expansion. If you're going to get it, you might as well get it. My order's been placed. Mandarin Mike's got ordered some stuff there. There you go. That is a look at Vengeance, Sentinels of the Multiverse. and what comes in the box. Really good stuff. You can keep this as a spare box. Put other cards into it. It's a very sturdy box. You can do all kinds of things with it. You can tear the insert out, and then you have a nice, very sturdy, very thick box. This is from 2014. They knew how to make boxes back in 2014. So yeah. So you might want to keep this as a spare in case one of your other boxes decides to collapse itself, whatever. But that is a look at what you get with Sentinels Multiverse Vengeance. And of course, you can look at our previous video on the Sentinels Multiverse Villains of the Multiverse expansion and what you get with that. Kind of highlighted that as well as this in this video. But this is a really good one, and I just got both of these from Greater Than Games like a week or two ago, along with a few other things. And I mean, they had some copies available. Do they still have copies of these? I have no idea. I would go to their website and check it out and see if they have copies. But as Meandering Mike just found out, they no longer have the definitive edition of Sentinels of the Multiverse anymore. So this is one of the last copies known on Earth that is still in the shrink wrap, ready to be opened by me. And we will probably do that in a live episode at some point. Maybe for a special event or something. Because this is my 5th copy of this, so I've got plenty of other copies. I got a copy right here. I got a copy right here. My other copy's back in the back of the room. I'm not going to get up and go get it. So I've got plenty of other copies. So maybe we'll leave this for a special event. Live unboxing of one of the last copies on Earth that have not been opened yet. So that's very exciting. So anyways, Vengeance, great game. Sentinels of Multiverse, my #1 game of all time. Highly recommend you check it out. I'm actually working on a fantasy version of this game. So if I ever get my ass in gear and finish it, yeah, maybe someday you'll get to see my version of Sentinels of the Multiverse with a D&D fantasy theme, kind of overlaying on top of it with some new mechanics and new things added to the game system. I've been working on it for several weeks, and I've kind of teased it a few places here and there, and one of these days we'll maybe get a chance to look at it. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of good things. So, Sentinels Multiverse, Vengeance, thanks for watching. See you next time. You got Sentinel Tactics, Vengeance, and a bunch of small expansions. Good. They're good.